Hello and welcome to Arts 24's weekly music show. I'm Marjorie Hash, and our guest this week is a singer-songwriter who emerged in the last decade thanks to her alternative soul and jazz-tinted R&B.
Will I get me a chance at happiness? Kid again.
Crystal Murray grew up in a French-American household with a jazz saxophonist's father and a mother who was an artist-producer. After initially making a name for herself as part of Gucci Gang, a cohort of teenage influencers, her music began to be noticed by luxury and youth brands alike. Her first album was released in 2024, and her track Payback was even used to promote the National Women's Soccer League on ESPN. She's just released a new EP, Anatomy of a Cry, which sees her add some indie rock and folk flair to her sound. Crystal Murray, congratulations, and thank you so much for joining us on Arts 24.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I'm really excited about your new record, which apparently was there to express this link between emotional and physical reaction. And it's something that you've done very directly. And I read that it was inspired by something that you experienced whilst you were watching a concerto in Stockholm. Can you tell us what happened exactly?
So it was like a trip that I did in Stockholm. I had all these demos that I had done with my guitarist, so everything was quite raw and real. And so I went to Stockholm to finish, planning the EP. And yeah, I just had this. The EP was supposed to be called Numb Enough, which was like completely the contrary of what. And I think it was a time where I was, fighting for my independence, trying to find what was the new sound that I was gonna become in. And yeah, I sat down. It was the first day of the residency, and I was working with this producer called Board, who's also a double bass in this concerto. So he invited me, and I sat down, and I think it was Tchaikovsky's Symphony 6. That's quite this like beautiful femininity. Also, it's like kind of this like queer, like it's the sound just directly kind of touched something in me, and like I cried emotionally, but it felt quite mechanical in a way, because it was the first sound started and I just
started crying.
And then for 2 hours I cried, and it was just this like beauty of everyone connecting on the same vibrancy. And yeah, and the name of the album came from that, and also like Anatomy of a Fall, the movies. I feel like I've been really inspired by movies also lately, and yeah, Anatomy of a Cry came from that.
It really highlights the power of music. You also said that this record was less about love and relationships and more about introspection. Yeah. I wondered if that was just a natural progression from you as an artist and as a human being growing up as well.
Yeah, I think this is the first project where I started writing about myself. Like Keystar is about childhood and, having the pressure. I signed really early. I signed when I was 16. I was in the spotlight when I was 14. And, I'm a child star. Like I was always singing and always... and I remember seeing this movie where Mia Goth goes into this crazy phase where she just starts saying, "But I am a star," and she starts crying, like really, really, like going crazy at it. It's like, "But I am a star," and I don't know, it
related.
It made me kind of realize, like, when you have this dream as a child to be a singer, and then here you are, and like, okay, am I happy?
Yeah. What's next?
What's next? And yeah, it's just, navigating through all these emotions. And
No. Well, how about we check out the track 73? one of the tracks you can find on Crystal Murray's new EP, Anatomy of a Cry. Tell us a bit about this music video, 73. Is it true that it was inspired by the idea of driving around LA listening to Syd Barrett? That's one of the things that came across in the press.
Yeah, that's funny. I don't know when I said that. I think I'm obsessed with Syd Barrett Dominoes. So I feel like when I was writing this EP, I was listening to this song a lot. So that's how it came. 73 was really fun because first it's the song that I wrote with Sega Bodega and Bia 1991. And they're just amazing artists, and I love how, you know, when you come to a studio and everybody respects each other, and so what came out was so real and good. We did this in a day, and it was just supernatural. And yeah, when I heard that, I was like, this is clearly a single. And it was the summer already, and I think 2 weeks later I was going to see my friend Angelina Roret, who's an actress who was in the Gucci Gang as well, and she always had this thing with filming and beauty, and so we were just talking about, we were watching Eyes Wide Shut and watching David Lynch movies, and yeah, kind of wanted to do our own film noir with no budget, and we were just like, we took her car and like took her iPhone. I took a wig, and you know, and
the
we
rest
did
is
this.
history.
And the rest is history.
And also, you recently moved to London in the UK. First of all, why? And number two, how's that impacted your music?
You know, I think London has this respect and love for live music. That is something that I always loved about London. And I started going maybe like 2 years ago. And musically, I felt like the more you wanted to do something different, the more respected you would be. And I felt like in France, I was a bit battling a lot with the press or labels trying to, like, you know, put me in a box. And for a long time, I was just fighting with that. And I think I was also doing music. I would do my music and love it, and then I would change it because I would like, oh, this needs to be more a single for radio. And I just felt like I needed to leave to come back. To like kind of, you know, stop listening to the voices, like, you know, the insecure voices in my head, and listen to my first instinct. And London gave me that space. London gave me also this like loneliness that I really needed to find myself. So
interesting. So you might come back to France. You never know.
Oh, I'm here.
It's next door. It's a Eurostar right away. Well, while we wait for an album after this Anatomy of a Cry, I'm just going to tell our viewers that you're going to be playing London on the 27th of April and Paris on the 30th. How about we take a look up at some other music news and check out what's going on around the world. And first up is Bristol's trip-hop icons Massive Attack, who've just dropped a new track with US blues rock legend Tom Waits at 76. He hadn't released any music since 2011. Both Massive Attack and Waits remain true to their styles in this politically charged track called Boots on the Ground, which criticises the rise of authoritarian governing methods. Let's check out the music video.
Big legs dangle from a helicopter home. Big chug rhythm, got me now. Brown, mean and young, dumb and full of cum. What can you use a marine for? This is a fucking ass machine gun war. Your boots on the ground, boots on the ground, boots on the ground, boots on the ground. We're trailing me our hedges.
A new Massive track with Tom Waits there called Boots on the Ground. Crystal, what do you think of it? And who's your dream collaboration as
Massive
well?
Attack. Like, really?
Yeah.
I saw them live in London a year ago, and I started listening to trip hop maybe 3 years ago. It's something I didn't know about.
Because it was before your time.
It was before my time, and it really helped me shape the sound of my project, because it was they never put themselves into a box, and they're not a cliche, and you know, half of the band is black, and it was like, for me it was like, oh, you can do this sound, you know, you can mix it up all together and make something that is super ethereal, and love it.
Oh, excellent. We were mentioning the fact that you had a bit of a rock edge on your new album. Well, how about we check out some rock and rollers? The Foo Fighters, they're back this week with their new album. It's called Your Favorite Toy. They recorded and produced it themselves in their home studio. And it's the first record with new drummer Ilan Rubin. The Foo Fighters seem to be back at their finest. Let's check out their live song of all people. Dave Grohl and his band will be back on tour with a date here in Paris on the 19th of June at La Défense Arena. And that's all we have time for this week. A special thanks to Crystal Murray for coming on the show. Don't forget to check out her excellent new EP, Anatomy of a Cry. We've just got time for one more clip to say goodbye. It's DRC's Fally Ipupa, who's been around for 2 decades and is known for making music infused with rumba. He's just released a new album, XX, which he'll be bringing to the Stade de France on May 2nd and 3rd. Here's the track and music video for Doucement.
Je vais pas être avec toi toute la nuit. J'ai attendu une femme comme toi toute ma vie. Nakosala nyonso pona yo, ma chérie. Aucune autre peut atteindre ton niveau, ma chérie. Après, se faisons doucement.